and welcome back to the channel. Bob here, and today we've got a really cool watch from a relatively new company out of Buffalo, New York, which coincidentally is only about an hour or so away from where I am right now. The watch we're going to be looking at is the Heitis Chronograph. Now, Heitis has a few different options for watches. They have sort of a Bauhaus style design. They have an aviation watch, or a few aviation watches, as well as the chronograph. All of their watches are sub $200, so some very affordable options. But today we're looking at the chronograph. This is part of a watch tour put on by Scott from Watches Galore. Afterwards, it's going on to Aron Dunlap from the OFD channel, as well as Chris Marshall from Marshall Time. I believe also Peter von Panda will be checking out the watch. So let's spin the camera around and take a look at the Heitis. Alright guys, so I don't always do wristwatch checks. I probably should more often when I do these videos, but I just have to show you this watch. I think I might have shown it on the channel earlier on, just briefly, but I've been wearing this a ton. This is the Citizen Satellite Wave. It is a fantastic watch. I'm going to be doing a full review on this very soon. I just had to show you guys. I've been loving it. The one thing I will say with these is do not pay full pop. There's a lot of deals to be had on these if you shop around, so make sure you look around before you end up pulling the trigger. Anyways, to the watch. As far as packaging goes, we have both an inner and outer box. Both are stamped with the Heitis logo, which I really like the look of. When you order the watch, you have the option with either the black strap and the brown leather strap, or the black and the mesh bracelet. They seem like pretty good quality as far as the leather ones go. We have some nice red stitch work on both the brown and the black. The mesh strap is a really good quality too. We have the signed Heitis there on the clasp. And the only issue I actually have with this particular strap, the watch has a 24 millimeter lug width, and this strap does not taper. So 24 millimeters is pretty thick when it comes to a strap that does not taper. So the bonus with the straps also, I should mention, is their quick release, which is really nice to have. So the watch is fairly large. It comes in at a case width of right around 44 millimeters. Lug to lug, we're looking at 50 millimeters. The thickness is right around 12.5 millimeters. Like I mentioned before, the lug opening here is 24 millimeters. We have a flat sapphire crystal with AR coating, which is nice to see for the price, and a water resistance of 100 meters. The watch houses the Miyota OS 20 quartz movement, which I don't believe I've ever had in a watch. Seems to be working just fine and keeping great time so far though. The dial is a glossy black with applied hour markers, as well as that applied 12 at the 12 o'clock position. We have the date window tucked away at the 4:30. Now, I've had a few watches with that offset date window, and I'm not always a fan, but it doesn't seem out of place at all on this watch. Leaves the subdials wide open, making them easier to read. I'll fire up the chronograph function while we take a look at the subdials. So at the 6, we have the running seconds. At 3 o'clock, we have the 24-hour time, and 9 is the minutes counter for the chronograph. The pushers, I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear it, but the pushers have this nice little snap to them, which I really like. We've got some decent lume on the hour markers and hands, and I'll put a couple of shots of that up at the end of the video. The case is polished stainless. I like how the lugs have this sharp edge here just before they drop off when looking at the watch face down. If you look at the side profile though, the lugs have more of a rounded drop off. Just love that combination of the rounded and more angular edges. The crown is signed with the Heitis H, and if we look at the case back, you'll see here it says Buffalo, New York, Heitis Chronograph Model 1706, as well as some other specs we've talked about earlier. So let's take a look at it on wrist. So just to give you reference, my wrist is just under 7¼ inches, and although it's a larger watch, it fits pretty nice. The lugs you can see here hug the wrist perfectly, and the strap feels great. With the build quality, the sapphire crystal, extra straps, and just a generally nice looking watch, I think at under $200, it's a great chronograph. So this is just a quick one today, guys. Let's take this back outside and wrap up today's video. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I have a blast checking out some of these newer watch companies. They've got some really interesting offerings. Make sure you check out the other guys on the watch tour. The links will be in the description below, as well as a link to Heitis watches. Check them all out. Thanks so much for stopping by the channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.